We have an awesome new update on both Blackout Classic and Blackout Next. There is a ton of new stuff in 2.3.8. Download it now. We're going to start getting into it right away because there's a lot. I'm going to start with one of my favorites. I actually made an entirely separate video about it, so check that out if you want to see more. But you can now update groups and effects. So this means that you can pick a new selection for a group or an effect, and instead of recording and overriding or using a preset for the effect, you can now just go to the update menu and select your group or select an effect that you want to update with the new selection. This is awesome. I'm sure you're going to love it. You can now clone effects. So if I have an effect I like, I can hit these three dots here, clone it, and then I could take a new selection and then update and put that new selection on the clone just like that. And so you can take an effect you like and put it on an entirely new selection in just a couple of taps. The next big one is view states. This is another big game changer, and it allows you to change what information you're seeing on your fixtures. So up at the top, this is where you change your view states, and by default, it's what you know and love. It's the value of your fixtures. So value is the percentage in intensity. So if I go at 30%, enter, we see 30%. If I want to change this, I can hit this little arrow and I see new options. If I go to decimal, you can see values in decimals. So if I select this range of fixtures and go at 10 through 65, you'll see that I'm actually getting decimal percentages here. You can also switch it to see DMX values right in your pillboxes. So if I go to full, these will all say 255, that being the top of the 8-bit number in a DMX value. Next up, you can actually see DMX input into your console. Let's take a look. So I just have these two Titan tubes, and I'll change this to input value, and then I'm gonna flip on MadMapper, and now I can see the intensity values that MadMapper is outputting. And even cooler, if I go into LivePlot, as you can see, MadMapper is outputting this test pattern. We're seeing it in LivePlot. We're also seeing the values on the fixture page. With this view state, we can see the test pattern MadMapper is outputting. This is great if you're using Blackout with a media server or with another console. You can see all of the data both in the fixture view and in LivePlot. The next view states have to do with individual fixture timing. If you haven't seen my video on individual fixture timing, please take a look at that because you'll need it for context. But now at the top of the page, we have a time and a delay button to see the individual fixture timing. And those buttons allow you to directly set the individual fixture timing. Here's what I mean. In the next look, I want 201 and 202 to fade out, but I want to put a delay between their fade out. I can grab both of them, go into my time, and you'll see there's no fade set. So I can just right in here give them a fade of at 2 seconds. And now they have that timing. Now I can come into delay, and for 202, I'll say at 1. So it'll have a bit of a delay. Then I'll click the D to go back to my intensities, select both, have them come out, and record that as a new look. So now when I play back, 202 will have a 1 second delay, and they'll both have the fade out that I set. And I can always see this by clicking either the T or the D to see what the fixture timings are. And as we learned in the individual fixture timing video, these flags at the top will tell me if there's a time or time and delay set on a fixture. And then of course, if you're used to the old syntax, which could be something like fixture 201 through 202, time 2, enter, that still works in any other view state. We've just simplified it, so if you're in time view, you don't have to specify time. If you're in delay, you don't have to specify delay, but you can do it the old way, and then both these view states allow you to see the changes that you actually made. Again, check out my individual fixture timing video. All of that info still stands. We've now just added a way for you to see the changes you're making and a simplified syntax for them when you're in a specific view state. And if I want to leave time or delay mode, I can just tap on them and it will return me to whatever view state I was previously just in. Inside the cloud database, you can long press the sync database button to do an entire resync of the cloud database just in case it gets stuck. We've made a ton of UI improvements. Some of my favorites are if a parameter has a channel set, we have these awesome new drop-down menus where you can snap to a specific value by just clicking here. And then inside advanced color, which you can get to by double tapping Fixture Controls and then going to advanced color mode, We've added plus and minus buttons on all the sliders so you can make those fine adjustments. Inside the cloud database, we've added a collapsible tree structure that makes searching for fixtures neater and easier than ever. In the collapsed view of the keyboard, we've added the THRU button, as well as previous, next, last syntax, clear, and enter. This makes it really fast to tap a fixture with your finger, come down here to the new THRU key, and tap the last fixture in your selection. You can now rename a sequence by renaming the fader it's attached to. So sequence 3 here is my set B sequence, so I can come in here, name it set B, and save that. And then if I go to the sequence, you'll see that the sequence itself took that name. The MIDI add-on got a massive update, mainly that you can now save different MIDI mapping and keyboard mapping presets. If you go to link status, connect to device, you now see this new menu for mapping presets where you can create a new preset with the mappings that you have. And if you change anything, you can either create a new mapping or you can come to the mapping you'd like to update, hit this little save button, and it will ask you if you want to update. In MIDI Learn, another huge update is you can have multiple devices trigger the same button. For instance, if you want to be able to clear from both your keyboard backspace button and a button on your MIDI board, you can do that. All of the map devices are shown in the menu. So as you can see, I have both my keyboard backspace and a button on my X-Touch Compact linked to clear. In link status for DMX Input, we've simplified the menu. So now we have a global toggle for the whole menu. And then for each row, we've added just one toggle to decide which rows Blackout is listening to. In Fixture Controls, if you're dealing with movers, we've correctly sorted Fixture Controls, so intensity, pan, tilt will always be your top values unless you have a filter on. Speaking of the filters, we have changed the UI so it's more obvious when you have one of them selected. And then my personal favorite, we have made massive battery life improvements to Blackout. This is anecdotal, we haven't quite measured it, but the last 2 sets that I've been running Blackout on, I have not had to charge at lunch. We'll put the full release notes in the description below, so check those out for all the little tweaks and life improvements we've also added. There's a lot here, and there's a lot more coming, so stay tuned. As always, if there's anything you want to see more of, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.